Hey Celtics Nation, welcome back. Let's jump right into it, because there's a lot to unpack after the Boston Celtics absolutely dominated the Memphis Grizzlies. I mean, it wasn't just a win, it was a statement, even if the opposition didn't exactly pose the toughest challenge. Sometimes, games like these feel almost like a warm-up, a chance to get back in a rhythm and remind everyone, including the players themselves, just how capable they can be when everything clicks. It's the kind of night where confidence comes easily, where players can let loose a bit and just enjoy the game without the stress of grinding through a tough matchup. Watching the Celtics team at work, it's clear they have the potential to be a real force. But it hasn't always been smooth sailing this season. There's been some tension, some uncertainty about roles, and a few players struggling to find their shot. But games like the one against Memphis provide a little reset, a chance to rediscover form and shake off any lingering doubts. It's like getting a small reward after a long stretch of frustration. Even if it doesn't solve every problem, it gives the team that spark, that reassurance that the work they're putting in does indeed translate to success on the court. Take players like Peyton Pritchard and Derek White, for instance. There's been a lot of talk about them missing shots they normally make, about losing a bit of rhythm or confidence. But in this game, seeing them knock down the open looks and move with purpose, it's more than just points on the board. It's validation. It's a reminder that they are capable, that the rhythm is still there, just waiting to be reclaimed. It's easy to overlook how critical those moments are for a player's mindset. Basketball isn't just physical, it's mental, and regaining that sense of normalcy and flow can change the tone of a whole season. And that's what this win felt like, a chance to breathe, a little moment of normalcy in a season that has demanded constant adjustments. The Celtics executed cleanly, moved the ball well, and hit the shots that had been slipping in previous games. It wasn't just about beating a weaker team. It was about giving the players a confidence boost, letting them see that all the effort, all the preparation, actually works when they trust the process and trust each other. That's huge because once a team starts feeling confident again, even the small victories compound into something more substantial. The energy carries over into practices, into film sessions, into the next matchup against tougher competition. The timing couldn't have been better, too. Going into a break after a solid win allows for reflection, for analysis, without the sting of defeat weighing heavy. It's an opportunity to examine what worked, what didn't, and where the team can improve without being clouded by frustration or pressure. Sometimes, that space is just as valuable as any on-court performance because it gives players and coaches alike a clearer lens through which to see their potential. It's about perspective, a way to take a step back and realize that while improvements are needed, there's also plenty of positives to build on. Now, while wins like this might feel easy, they serve an important purpose in the grand scheme of things. It's not about creating a false sense of invincibility. It's about recognizing small successes, acknowledging progress, and using that momentum to tackle more challenging opponents with renewed focus. There's no room for complacency here. The Celtics know there are still adjustments to make, areas that need attention, whether it's refining rotations, perfecting the pick and roll, or simply making smarter decisions under pressure. But having these easy victories sprinkled throughout the season provides the mental reset necessary to approach those challenges with confidence rather than hesitation. And speaking of adjustments, one player who stands out in this context is Nimish Queta. His role has evolved this season, and there's a growing understanding of how he can be used more effectively in the offense. Queta's development has been noticeable. His passing has improved, his awareness on the court is sharper, and his decision-making is becoming more reliable. But there are still areas to refine, controlling his body better on short rolls, maintaining composure when rolling to the basket, and making quicker, smarter reads. When Queta can combine his physical abilities with sharper court vision and refined technique, he becomes a serious weapon in the Celtics' arsenal. It's fascinating to watch how the team is learning to leverage him more consistently. When Queta finds his spots and makes the right reads, it opens the floor for others, creates opportunities for cutters, and keeps defenses honest. Even if it's a seemingly small contribution, it can ripple across the offense, allowing stars like Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum to operate with more freedom. It's about maximizing efficiency, finding the easiest paths to points while maintaining fluid ball movement and creating spacing. Kata's progression is a microcosm of the team's broader evolution, learning to integrate everyone's strengths while minimizing weaknesses. Of course, watching the Celtics execute against weaker teams is one thing, but the real test is translating that success to tougher matchups. Against elite defenses, every pass, every cut, every screen becomes critical. The ease of scoring that we saw against Memphis won't always be there, so refining the small details, timing, positioning, decision-making is essential. Kata's ability to read defenses, pass effectively, and execute under pressure will be key. And while he's not yet at the level of some of the Celtics' more experienced playmakers, the progress is encouraging. There's potential for him to become a reliable second option, a player the team can lean on when the pressure mounts, and that's an exciting prospect for this season and beyond. Beyond Kata, the emergence of players like Jordan Walsh also deserves attention. He's showing flashes of versatility, athleticism, and basketball IQ that could make him a valuable piece in the Celtics rotation. Whether he can maintain that level consistently is the big question, but it's clear the coaching staff is experimenting with how to maximize his impact. And that's part of the beauty of a team in development. The opportunity to discover hidden strengths, integrate new dynamics, and create multiple options for executing the offense efficiently. Every game, every possession is a chance to refine these pieces, and watching that growth unfold is part of the excitement for fans and analysts alike. It's also worth noting how victories like this contribute to team morale in subtle but powerful ways. Wins reinforce habits, validate decisions, and create positive feedback loops that extend beyond the court. Players feel more in control, more confident, and more willing to take calculated risks, which is essential for a team aspiring to compete at the highest level. And that's not just about individual performance. It's about collective trust, communication, and shared belief in the system. When everyone sees that their efforts produce tangible results, the cohesion strengthens, making the team more resilient in the face of adversity. So, when we look at the Celtics squad, we see a team that is navigating challenges, rediscovering confidence, and beginning to integrate its pieces more effectively. Wins like the one against Memphis may seem simple on the surface, but their impact resonates far beyond a single game. It's about momentum, development, and the small victories that accumulate over the course of a season to shape identity and potential. The Celtics are showing signs of adaptability, learning how to leverage emerging talent, and finding ways to execute efficiently when the opportunities present themselves. At the end of the day, this is a team in progress, but the trajectory is encouraging. Players are regaining form, refining techniques, and building the confidence necessary to tackle more formidable opponents. Games like this one provide that essential psychological boost, a reminder that when effort, preparation, and execution align, the results follow. It's a season-long journey, and moments like these are the milestones that mark progress, instill belief, and hint at what's possible when the Celtics operate at their best. Now, turning back to Nimish Kata, it's fascinating to watch how he's starting to find his rhythm within the Celtics system. There's a clear difference between seeing him as a rotational piece and imagining him as a central cog in the pick and roll. Kata's ability to read the defense has improved steadily this season, and it shows in the way he moves the ball and creates space. His passes are cleaner, his timing more deliberate, and his awareness of cutters and open shooters is sharper than it was at the start of the season. The next step, though, is controlling his body more efficiently, particularly in those short roll situations. Sometimes he's too aggressive, too forward-leaning, and it compromises his ability to make quick, precise reads. When he can master that, when he can stop on a dime like a seasoned playmaker, he transforms from a situational asset into a reliable option the offense can consistently run through. The beauty of developing a player like Kata is that it doesn't just expand his role, it expands the entire team's capabilities. If the Celtics trust him to execute short rolls and make smart decisions under pressure, suddenly the defense has to account for him more seriously. That opens lanes for Jaylen Brown, for Derek White, for Jason Tatum, and even for shooters lurking in the corners. The spacing improves, the flow becomes cleaner, and the offense feels less forced because Kata's presence provides both versatility and a sense of unpredictability. When he's moving in sync with the ball, setting screens efficiently, and hitting the right passes, he's essentially another playmaker on the floor. That's the type of growth that can redefine how the team functions offensively. And it's not just Kata. Jordan Walsh's emergence is equally compelling. Walsh has shown flashes of multi-positional talent that could be a game-changer for the Celtics. His athleticism allows him to defend multiple positions, cut effectively, and crash the glass with energy. But more than that, he started to understand the nuances of the game at this level, the timing of his rotations, when to dive into the paint, when to rotate out, and how to anticipate the movement of both the ball and the opposing players. That awareness, coupled with his physical tools, makes him a potential matchup nightmare if he continues to develop at this pace. Integrating Walsh effectively gives the Celtics another dimension, a way to maintain high-level play even when their primary scorers are being heavily defended. As we watch these players grow, it's evident how critical the coaching adjustments have been. The Celtics are experimenting with different ways to utilize Kata and Walsh, balancing the need for structure with the freedom to capitalize on their strengths. It's a delicate dance because while talent is essential, understanding timing, spacing, and situational awareness separates good players from great ones. Kata and Walsh are in that space of potential greatness, and the next few months could define whether they solidify their roles or remain situational contributors. Every possession, every film session, every practice becomes a chance to refine those instincts and reactions, and the coaching staff seems to recognize that and is giving them the latitude to grow. What's also fascinating is the psychological side of this progression. Wins against teams like Memphis serve as confidence boosters, but they also give players room to experiment, to test new moves, to build chemistry with teammates in low-pressure situations. That kind of environment is essential for young players. Kata, Walsh, and even secondary contributors like Derek White or Peyton Pritchard benefit from seeing that the offense can move fluidly, that passing lanes open when they make the right decisions, and that execution leads to points without needing to force anything. It's these subtle moments of reinforcement that eventually create instinctual play, where players trust their reads and act decisively, even under intense pressure. The Celtics' offensive adjustments also deserve attention. Integrating Kata into the pick and roll more consistently allows for quicker ball movement and better spacing. When he sets a screen and rolls decisively, he forces the defense to collapse or rotate, opening up jumpers, cuts, or opportunities for the bigs in the paint. The team's ability to recognize when to feed him, when to reverse the ball, and when to let stars attack off the roll is critical. Even small improvements in timing or positioning can have outsized impacts on offensive efficiency. Watching the Celtics execute these principles, even against weaker teams, provides a blueprint for how they can sustain productivity against more challenging defenses. But before we continue, please remember to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest news about the Boston Celtics. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. The NBA world is buzzing with whispers that could shake the league to its core. Multiple sources close to team executives suggest that the Boston Celtics have pulled off what many thought impossible, securing the services of Giannis Antetokounmpo. Though no official announcement has been made, the rumor alone has sent shockwaves through locker rooms, social media, and front offices across the league. If true, this move could redefine the balance of power in the NBA. Giannis, the two-time MVP and one of the most dominant forces in modern basketball, would join a Celtics squad already loaded with talent and ambition. The thought of Antetokounmpo wearing green and white is enough to make rival teams shudder. Fans are already imagining the combination of Giannis' relentless drive with Boston's disciplined system, a blend of chaos and precision that could become unstoppable. Unconfirmed reports hint that Boston's front office has been quietly maneuvering for months, clearing cap space and exploring creative trade packages to bring the Greek Freak to TD Garden. Sources describe negotiations as complex but focused, with both sides eager to find common ground. Some insiders claim that Giannis himself was intrigued by the Celtics' long-term vision and the opportunity to cement his legacy in one of the most storied franchises in basketball history. Social media has erupted, with fans dissecting every photo, every cryptic post, and every airport sighting that could lend weight to the rumor. Sports talk shows have turned into round-the-clock speculation machines, debating what this could mean for the rest of the league. Would this mark the birth of a new dynasty in Boston? Or is it just another off-season mirage designed to stir excitement before the next big headline? For now, the Celtics camp remains tight-lipped, and Giannis has made no public comment. But the silence only fuels the frenzy. If the rumor proves true, the NBA landscape may never look the same again, and Boston could once again become the epicenter of basketball glory. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Boston Celtics, please subscribe to our channel and give the video a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.